What is going on, everybody? This is KJames9904, and I'm coming at you today with a video on the NBA playoff predictions. Now, a couple weeks back, I did my NHL predictions right after the trade deadline, and this is actually going to be recorded after opening weekend, so all game ones have been played. Surprisingly, it actually didn't change any of my predictions. It actually just solidified my pick for one of these series. So let's not waste any time and just get started right away. So first off, I'm going to start off in the West here. We got Phoenix and New Orleans. And I think this one is pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't see any possible way that New Orleans even comes away with a game here. Phoenix is going to roll in 4. I honestly think they could sit Chris Paul this entire series and still win in 4 or 5 games. No less than 6. I mean, the Suns are just that good. And there's a reason they're the number 1 seed in the West, and a lot of people are favoring them for the finals. Moving on to the game 2 here, we got number 4 seed Dallas going against the Utah Jazz here. And this one's a little bit tougher, but I mean, if with Luka out game 1, I mean, I don't know. I really think that the Jazz are going to end up winning this one in about 6, and this is strictly because of Luka Doncic missing game 1 and then potentially missing game 2. I don't. This is being recorded the day of the game, so as of right now, he's not going to be playing. But yeah, I just don't see how, if they're missing Luka, that they can beat the Jazz, and then they're going to be down 0-2 and then moving on to the road. So I'm going to take the Jazz here. It's just probably just not worth for the Mavericks to push Luka, anyways, because they're probably going to get swept the next series, anyways. So moving on. Next series here, we got Golden State and Denver. I think this is a better series than the last two. And I'm going to take Golden State in this one to win it in 5. Yeah, I mean, Golden State is, they've been that team for how many years now? 2014, 2015, so moving on like 6, 7 years. If they can find, if Golden State can find a way to shut down Nikola Jokic, then this series is already over. I mean, Golden State's too good from top to bottom. Better coach. I mean, I do like Denver. I think that they've made. I mean, it really sucks they didn't have Jamal Murray for like the entire season, but I don't really think that would have changed much. They maybe would have been able to move above like Dallas or Utah. But yeah, so I got Golden State winning that one in 5. I could see this going to 6, but no more than 6. And then here we got one of the best matchups of the first round here. We got Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves, this is like their second playoff appearance since like 2004. And the one season they had Jimmy Butler, they ended up being the 8 seed, and then I think they lost in 5 to the Rockets. But anyways, that doesn't matter. So these are the 2 youngest teams in the playoffs, and they're both facing each other the first round. And if you recall back to the beginning of the video, I said game 1 was going to solidify my predictions for this series, and this is the one. I thought going into this that Minnesota was going to win, and I'm sticking with it. I honestly was going to say that Minnesota could win in 7, but I honestly could see them taking it in 5 or 6 now, but I'm going to stick with 7. I can see Memphis bouncing back here on game 2, but I mean, if Memphis drops this next game, it's done. The series is already over. But I mean, this would be a huge win for the Timberwolves. I mean, I think they have the pieces to be a real contender in the next couple of coming years here. I mean, Anthony Edwards is a solidified star. He is going to be arguably a top 5 player in the next few years. I can see it. Cat is already there. He just hasn't had any help up until now. Yeah, I love the Grizzlies and what they're doing there. I mean, obviously, Ja Morant is arguably one of the most exciting players in the NBA. But I mean, the Grizzlies just do not have an answer for Cat, and it showed in game 1 as well. I mean, 29 points. He was basically scoring at will, and then you have to pick one. You can't guard both Edwards and it didn't help that Jarrett Jackson Jr. got into foul trouble either. But you cannot guard both Cat and Edwards. Like, you can't double team them both, otherwise their bench is good. 2 amazing bench teams here. Memphis got the best defense, and Minnesota's got the best offense, like just based on the entire team, the whole league. So that's why this is such an exciting series. 2 youngest teams, a number 1 defense, number 1 offense going at each other. But like I said, I am going to take the Minnesota Timberwolves in 7 for the upset. Now we're going to move on to the East for the first round here. Game 1, or the first game or matchup series here. Miami Heat are going to absolutely sweep the Hawks. I mean, that first game was an absolute embarrassment for the Hawks. I mean, I didn't see the Hawks going to be able to win at least one more game anyways, but like the first game, I think there is no way that Hawks are going to steal even one game. It's going to be a series sweep for the Heat, and they're going to move on effortlessly into the second round. And here we got next matchup is the 76ers and the Toronto Raptors. I mean, I was going to pick the Sixers before the series started to begin with, but I was probably going to pick it in 6 or 7, but I'm actually going to take the Sixers in 5 now. And it's kind of the same thing, but we got with Memphis and Minnesota here, that Toronto, with having a bunch of small guys on the roster, they just don't have an answer for Joel Embiid, and it showed in that first game. Yeah, so the Sixers are going to roll through onto the semi-conference finals and take out the Raptors in 5. Next up, we got an interesting one here. We got the young Chicago Bulls finally making it back to the playoffs, taking on the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. And I believe the season series for regular season was, I don't think the Bulls ever even won, but I am going to take the Bucks here in 5. I think the Bulls are good enough to probably steal one game at home, but I mean, other than that, it's going to be about it. Giannis is another MVP candidate again. I mean, I don't think he made the finals for Defensive Player of the Year, but that's mainly because he was already in the running for MVP. So yeah, I got the Bucks winning this one in 5 pretty handily against the Bulls, but Bulls are going to be looking good in the next few years. Moving on over, we got Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. Now this is the best Eastern Conference series matchup. I do like the Memphis and Timberwolves one a lot as well. But this one's probably going to be the two like big caliber punchers. I mean, the Nets are probably the best 7 seed ever. I mean, arguably. But I mean, other than like Kyrie and Durant, they really don't have anybody of like significance. I mean, obviously they got some pieces there, but I mean, I'm going to take Boston in 7. And I was really debating on this one before I watched this game. I really wanted to watch that game 1, and what a game 1 it was. Wow, that buzzer beat with Tatum. But yeah, I'm going to take Boston here. I wanted to pick Boston before the game 1, and now I'm just going to stick with my decision and take them in 7. Hard fought 7 games. I think Boston is ready to take that next step, and this is going to be our teams that are moving on to the next round. So we're going to go back over to the West here, our Western Conference semifinal. We got Phoenix Suns and Utah Jazz. This one's another easy one. Phoenix is going to absolutely roll again, and they're going to win this one in 6. So not quite as easy as the round 1 with the Pelicans there, but Gobert is going to be able to make some noise, and Donovan Mitchell is, he's a star in this league, so they're going to be able to steal a couple of games. I don't think they're going to win any road games, and I think that they're going to just win their 2 home games, and then that's going to be it for the Jazz. So I think the series ends up being tied at 2-2, and then the Suns will take care of business from there. So now next up, we got another decent matchup here for the Timberwolves and the Warriors. People are sleeping on the Timberwolves, man. I haven't seen anybody other than, like, I think maybe Shaq said that the Timberwolves could beat Memphis, but like here we are. And I really do think that Minnesota has a better matchup for Golden State than Denver. And so yeah, I mean, I don't think the Wolves will be able to pull it off. They're too young and just haven't been there, and the composure of Golden State's going to show when it comes to this. But I mean, I am going to take the Golden State Warriors, and I'm going to take them in 6. So it's not going to be quite as easy for the Warriors as taking on Denver. So I think Minnesota is good enough to steal a couple of games once again. But I mean, just the star-studded rosters, both of these rosters, very young team for Minnesota, a little bit older team for Golden State, and that's going to be what decides this series, is just the experience in the playoff series of a couple of the best players on the planet, along with all their pieces, and obviously Steve Kerr. So yeah, so that's going to be our Western Conference final. We got Phoenix and Golden State. So before we had picked that matchup, we're going to go back and do the semifinals in the East. And we got a really nice matchup here. This one is one I was hoping we were going to get, and this time I am going to pick the Miami Heat, and I'm going to take them in 6. I think the Miami Heat are a deeper team. They rely less on the stars. Tyler Hero is probably a lock to win 6th Man of the Year. Joel Embiid, like I said before, he's having an MVP season. I mean, Harden's just not what he used to. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to stick with that take. I've stuck with it all year. Harden is not the same player that he was a couple of years ago with the Rockets. And yeah, so that's going to be a lock here. Miami's going to win this one in 6. All right, moving on. Another great series. So pretty much any series that Boston is involved in is a good one because they have a tough road to the finals here. And this one's a hot take, man. This one is a hot take. I really want to pick Boston to win this series, but I just can't do it. I just think they're too young. They don't have quite the experience of those deep playoff runs as the Bucks do, and I'm going to take the Bucks to win it in a hard-fought 7. Giannis is once again going to show why he is the best player on the planet, and take care of the Bucks or take care of the Celtics. All right, so we have our conference matchups here, our conference finals matchups. Phoenix and Golden State. I think Golden State, now that they're healthy and have all their players back, can really make some noise. And I think they're going to really push Phoenix, but I am going to take Phoenix in 7. I just think they're overall a much more complete team, even though Golden State has been that team for, like I said, since 2015, 2014, since they're on the come up. But Phoenix has been here before. They want redemption. They want to go to the finals again. And they've proved all year long why they are the best team in the league. So yeah, I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns to win this series. And let's move back on over to the Eastern Conference Final. And here we got the number 1 seed Heat versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And this one, I think, is going to be opposite of what everyone wants. Or maybe they do want this, I don't know. But I'm going to take the Miami Heat to win in 7. I think the Heat are a lot better than they were last year. I mean, obviously, since the number 1 seed, their bench is really good. And I just think the Heat want it more. I mean, the Bucks won it last year. The Heat are hungry. They want another shot from the bubble year, and they're going to wind up facing the Suns in the finals. All right, in our final matchup here, we got the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat. So 2 number 1 seeds. It's kind of ironic, to be honest. I mean, I really do think that any 3 teams, even 4 teams of Miami, Milwaukee, Boston, and Brooklyn could end up in the finals. I could honestly even see 76ers in the finals. But this is just like my gut feeling. You don't have to get heated in the comments either. This is just an average fan's opinion of what's going to happen. But in the finals here, I actually am going to take the Phoenix Suns, and I'm going to take them to win in 6. I think it's their time to shine. And yeah, I mean, they're hungry. I mean, both these teams are hungry, but I think the Suns just want it more. After getting embarrassed after going up 2-0 last year in the finals, they really do want this more than the Heat. I mean, the Phoenix Suns are a starved franchise. Let's be honest here. They were an absolute dumpster fire for a long time, ever since like Nash departed. I think they've been pretty bad. So yeah, I mean, they haven't had any success. I mean, the Heat have had tons of success, obviously. With the LeBron, Bosh, and Ray Allen, then obviously D Wade days, and they won 2 championships, I think. And so yeah, I mean, I just think this is the Suns' time, man. I really do. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments down in the description. Give me your take. Hit the like button. Get me out there a little bit, and subscribe. Take care, guys.